Ever since I started posting videos about options trading, I've gotten more than a few comments from people who are like, oh my god, I can't believe you're talking about options trading, Rose. That's gambling. I'm unsubscribing. You gotta love when people just need to publicly announce that they're unsubscribing from my channel instead of just quietly unsubscribing. Either way, I still think this is a very good thing to address because options trading has gotten a bit of a bad rap lately, especially with all the stuff going on with GameStop, or that was going on with GameStop, the meme stocks, and that Reddit forum Wall Street Bets, where all they do is do like high risk trades that really aren't appropriate for the average person. I can see why so many people have this misconception of options trading as being like gambling. That's why I wanted to make this video to answer this question head on. Is options trading gambling? Obviously, if options trading really was gambling, I wouldn't be doing it, let alone talking to you about it on my channel. Like, hell no. But the thing is, it actually can go both ways. There are many different styles of options trading, and depending on how you do it, it could be considered gambling. Buying and selling options is just like buying and selling stocks. There are people who treat the stock market as if it were a casino, not a good idea, and they make and lose a lot of money in a short amount of time. And then there's people who treat the stock market like a real legit place to invest your money for the long term, such as Warren Buffett. So it all depends on how you approach things, you know what I mean? To me, for something to be considered gambling, your success has to depend purely on luck, as in the outcome is all based on chance. But options trading, or at least the approach that I want to talk to you about, is not based only on luck and chance. It's based on doing trades with a high probability of success and takes a very conservative approach to risk. So in this video, I want to tell you about my favorite non-gambling options trading strategy for generating consistent cash flow every month. Fair warning, this is not your ticket to overnight riches, and you're definitely not going to end up with a Lamborghini by trading options this way. But hey, if that's what you're looking to do, you're probably better off trying your luck in Vegas. Also, FYI, this is video number 4 in a 6-week video series about options trading, so be sure to catch up on that playlist right here, and also to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. Alright, so with that, let's get into the video. The type of options trading that is most closely associated with gambling is the type of options trading that happened with GameStop. So back in January 2021, a bunch of people in a Reddit forum called Wall Street Bets joined forces, bought up a ton of call options on GameStop, and drove up the price from $17 to $500 in less than 30 days. So when you buy a call option, it gives you the right to buy the underlying stock at a predetermined price, also known as the strike price. And if a stock goes all the way up here, but you have a call option that allows you to buy the stock all the way down here, then you'd make a big fat profit on that stock. So that's kind of how call options work. And by the way, if you need a refresher on option basics, you can check out this other video right here where you'll find a beginner-friendly explanation of calls and puts. So imagine buying a call option on GameStop with a strike price of $17 and then watching the stock go to $500, which is exactly what happened back in January. And that's exactly how most of the GameStop traders on Twitter and Reddit made their money, by buying these GameStop call options. So there are huge potential payoffs to buying options, and rumor has it that one of the traders in that Reddit forum made $20 million on his GameStop trades. But the thing is, things like the GameStop situation, they only happen once in a blue moon. The only reason GameStop stock had such a crazy move upwards is because it experienced something called a short squeeze. A short squeeze happens when a stock's price starts going up rapidly and forces players who bet against the stock to cut their losses and exit their positions. When you bet against a stock, that's called short selling. When you short sell a stock and it starts to move up in price, you have to buy back the stock at a higher price than where you sold it in order to close out your position. This results in a lot of panic buying, and it drives up the stock price even more. So it's this really vicious cycle where you're losing money, so you need to buy back the stock, and that drives up the price even more, and that's why GameStop moved up so quickly in a short amount of time. It's essentially the opposite of panic selling. Think of it as panic buying. So that guy who made $20 million on GameStop call options, stories like that are the exception rather than the norm. it actually costs a lot of money to buy options. For example, a call option on GameStop right now costs $26.85. Seems cheap enough, but that's actually only the price on a per share basis. Because each option contract is actually on 100 shares, you have to multiply everything by 100 whenever calculating the dollar amounts involved. This is called the contract multiplier. And so going back to this GameStop call option, if you want to buy it, that means it would actually cost you $2,685. Not only this, but options all also have an expiry date. So if GameStop isn't well above the call option strike price of $175 by the August 20th expiry date, you'll lose your entire $2,685. So not only do you have to get the direction of the stock price right, but you also have to get the timing right. There's literally no margin for error, a very small window of time to get it right, which isn't great because you're already starting off $2,685 in the hole. I mean, if you understood the company well, you could certainly predict with reasonable confidence whether the stock will go up or down and roughly what price it might be at over the next 5 or 10 years. But to predict what will happen over the next 30 days and to stake $2,685 on that, it really sounds like buying a lottery ticket to me. In other words, huge potential payoff, but very low probability of success. If you buy this lottery ticket or call option, other than your hunch that the stock might be going up soon, what edge do you have over any other random person who is planning to buy this call option and is also hoping to get rich quick? Newsflash, you don't. One of my favorite mottos in life is this: hope is not a strategy. When it comes to investing and trading in the financial markets, I truly believe this phrase is worth tattooing somewhere onto your body, or at the very least, never forgetting this very wise, sound piece of advice. Which is why buying options, a la GameStop and Wall Street bets, is basically the same thing as gambling, and it's not an activity that I condone. Okay, Rose, then how does one trade options in a way that is not gambling? So glad you asked. The answer is to be a net seller of options and to do it in a risk-defined way. So let me explain. You already know why buying options is a bad idea. They are expensive, hard to get the timing right, etc. So if buying options is a bad idea, then since selling options is the opposite of that, selling must be a good idea, right? Yes, but only if you do it a certain way. Because selling options can be extremely risky too, and in some cases even riskier than buying options. Because when you sell a call option, you're actually exposed to the potential for unlimited losses. Because if you buy a call and this is what you make when the stock price goes up, then since selling a call is the opposite of that, that means that's what you could lose as the seller of the call option. For every dollar that the stock price goes up, the buyer of the call option would make $1 and their profit would just keep going up, and the call seller would lose $1 and their losses would get even bigger as the stock goes up. And since the stock can keep going up and up and up in price, potentially to infinity, then your loss as a call option seller can also theoretically go to infinity. That is not a smart way to do things, which is why instead of just selling a call option, you want to do something called an option spread. A spread is whenever you sell one option and simultaneously buy another option for protection. A good way to understand option spreads is to think about insurance companies. I don't know if you already knew this, but in the insurance business, there's also something called reinsurance. Reinsurance is when insurance companies buy insurance from other insurance companies in order to limit their own exposure in case of disaster. Let's say you have a car insurance policy with, say, Geico, and your car gets totaled in an accident. So obviously you'll hit up Geico with a claim to replace your car, say it's $20,000, and Geico is gonna have to pay you $20,000 because that's what insurance companies are supposed to do. Now, imagine if Geico also hits up their insurance company and puts in a claim for, say, $15,000. Then that would mean Geico is only on the hook for that $5,000 difference as opposed to the full $20,000 because they had $15,000 worth of protection from their insurance company. To connect this back to options trading, selling a call option without buying another one for protection is kind of like Geico selling insurance without also getting their own insurance to cover their butts. This is called a naked position because you would be exposed to potentially unlimited losses. Like in this example of Geico, if the car insurance claim was $100,000 and they didn't have reinsurance, they would be on the hook for all of that. So that type of exposure is what you call a naked position. On the other hand, selling an option spread would be like Geico selling insurance while also getting reinsurance from another insurance company. This type of trade is the bread and butter of my options trading side hustle because you can collect money up front, but it's also safe in the sense that your risk is limited to an amount that you control. To use options trading slang, this trade is a risk-defined trade. I know this is a lot to wrap your head around, so if you want to better understand the difference between buying versus selling options, definitely grab a copy of my free options trading starter kit. It is a perfect beginner's guide, so please go check it out. Link is below. Anyway, with this approach, your trades would look kind of like this. Modest but consistent gains with occasional but manageable losses. Compare this to buying options, where your trades would look more like this. Huge but occasional gains, but mostly just a lot of consistent losses. One of those looks a lot like gambling, whereas the other one is a lot more reliable and looks like an actual business. So there you have it. To sum up the main takeaways of this video, number one, there are many different styles of options trading. So if whether or not you make a profit is heavily dependent on luck, then that kind of options trading can definitely be considered gambling. Whereas if your success is based on an actual strategy, that kind of options trading is not gambling. Just like everything else in life, it all depends on how you do it. Secondly, an options trading approach that centers heavily around buying options is really no better than playing roulette in Vegas because the odds are really stacked against you. Whereas focusing on selling options and doing it in a safe, risk-defined way, the way we talked about, that is a legitimate business model that is actually the opposite of gambling. So I hope that cleared up any fears and misconceptions you may have had around options trading. Once again, make sure to download my options trading starter kit because honestly, the more you study this stuff, the more comfortable you're gonna start feeling. Just click the link below to grab a free copy. All right, guys, that's it for this video. This was video number 4 in my 6-week options trading for beginners video series. I hope you got value from it. In next week's video, I'm gonna share with you the top beginner options trading mistakes to avoid. It's gonna be a juicy one, so give this video a like if you are planning to tune in. Give this video a like if you got value from it, and I hope to see you next week, same time, same place. Bye.